What's going on? This is Ben from Real Ones. We're out here at Augustine Saturday night at South by Southwest. We're the CX R&B showcase with CXR's own Erykah Officer.
What's good? What's up, y'all?
Welcome on into the program.
Happy to be here.
Of course, of course. So something we love to ask folks to start things off is just sort of like to express gratitude. You know, this show is called Real Ones, so if there's like a real one in your life that you feel like has helped you over the course of your career, or even just, you know, is there to pick you up when you're down, like, this is your time to go and shout them out.
Well, shout out CXR. So right now we're at CXR's R&B showcase on Rainy Street, which is a very poppin' street, if I may add. I want to shout them out because they've been giving me a lot of support in the past couple of years. I started working with them September 2021, and my career honestly has changed for the best, and I couldn't be happier to be a part of such an amazing collective.
Phenomenal, and what a great team it is. I am curious, you know, how you initially made the connection with folks. You didn't really have too much music out, was it?
No, actually, I'd only dropped one song before they actually like brought me on the label, so I was really shocked how eager they were to like bring me onto the team, you know? I guess they just believed and they saw the vision. Austin, he's the head of marketing for CXR. Him and I, we went to high school together.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So when he saw me drop this live performance around the time that I dropped my single, he was like, oh shit, he DM'd me. He's like, you're taking music seriously.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I want to do this for my career. Like, this is my passion. He was like, you know that I work for a whole like label now, and we're looking for an R&B singer.
Yeah.
He's like, would you be down to have a meeting with them? And I was like, 110%. Like, I trust him because we were friends. It was the best decision I ever made. You know, we had a group FaceTime, and then it was history from there. Like, we just locked in, we started working, weekly phone calls, they flew me to LA, all expenses paid, they bought me a shit ton of shit. I'm like, you don't have to do all that. But they're really trying to show me that they were serious and that they, like, really want to be back to the team, you know? Once they told me they were serious, and then I got to meet the other artists too, Chris Patrick, Dende, then I was like, oh yeah, like, I want to lock in with y'all, for real. So, it's been history ever since. Thanks to Austin, good luck.
Amazing, amazing. The spelling of Erykah, is that your birth name?
It's actually my birth name.
Got you.
My dad picked it out. It's very ironic that I like choose the path of music.
Yeah, was
based
there
off
like,
of my name.
did he have like a, you know, maybe the idea of like, oh, she's gonna grow up and be a singer?
Not at all, but he was a huge influence on my music career.
Yeah.
Like, he really put me on to, like, Jill Scott, Lauryn Hill, Music Soul Child, like, all those neo-soul artists. It was really cool to, like, have him name me after somebody who, like, now I look up to. She's my favorite artist.
Wow.
Very
You know,
cool
it feels like that's just
It
right,
was meant
you know?
to be.
It does, it does.
Yeah.
Officer, is that like a stage name or is that part of
No,
your-
that's my government. It's my dad's last name. It's English and Scottish. So, you know, back in the day, like the 1800s,
Yeah.
they used to give you, like, whatever your occupation was, they would make that your last name.
Because you have like, you know, people's last name is like Carpenter and stuff like that, so that makes sense.
Yeah. My great-great-grandfather, I guess, was an officer. So my friends like to call me an op. But I promise
Yeah, how do
I'm
you
really
feel
good
about
at keeping secrets, and I'm so loyal to people, like I would never. But yeah, it's kind of funny. Like, I was born with it, so it kind of rolls off the shoulder, but people are always in shock. Like, that's your birth name, and I'm like, yeah.
Hey, you can trust Erykah Officer with your secrets, I promise. What's coming up for you this year? You know, projects, EPs on the horizon, like, this is what the people are wondering.
Well, I just dropped a single in February, like a little bit after Valentine's Day. It's called Curve Queen, but I'm not dropping any more singles until the EP is out. So the EP drops May 2023. After that, the singles will come, but right now I'm just trying to work really hard on getting that finished up.
Yeah, so what does that look like, you know, with the course of your songwriting process? Like, when do you listen through to a song and know that it's finished?
You never know when it's finished. To be honest.
It's hard to let go.
It's really hard to know for sure. Like, I think it really depends upon like who you have around you, your circle. You have to be really sure. It's like, okay, I'm ready to just put it out to the world. It's like asking the same question like, when do you know you're ready to be an artist or you're ready to drop music? You just never really know when you're done to like release anything. You just have to do it. Just do it. So I feel like I'm really confident and comfortable with the record, which takes time. Once I get there, I'm like, okay, let me just stop overthinking everything and overanalyzing everything to death and let the world hear it.
Would you say you recorded a really high volume? Like, would you make a ton of tracks and then pick like a couple of like 100, or are you really intentional? Like, when you start something, you really wanting to finish it?
I'm more of the intentional type.
Yeah.
I take my time with records. I like to finish them all the way through. So I'll have back-to-back sessions on the same record until it's done, and then I'll move on to something else.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard for me to like go back on something. Especially like when you're in that moment, you're in the feeling, okay, this is how I'm feeling right now, and I want to release this energy into this music, and then I want to move on to something different.
Let's say it's come album time, it's come EP time, right? I really enjoy CXR's activations, you know, what they do marketing-wise around stuff, but like, Are there any ideas you really want to see brought to life, you know, to go along with the tape?
I've always wanted to do a brand deal with like Fenty Beauty or
yeah.
some of my favorite artists that like have their own clothing or makeup lines. That would be super fire. But also something similar to like, remember when Summer Walker did like her big release for her album and she had like those glass, glass fucking see-through boxes and you had to try to break it down with a hammer to actually get like the pre-release.
And so many people couldn't even do
like
it.
That. And the cool thing about it is her name is KB. She works with Chris Patrick and Dende. She was actually the one who thought of that idea.
Wow.
So I'm hoping to collaborate with her on some ideas for my EP drop. But something like really hands-on because I feel like physical marketing, like face-to-face marketing, is the best marketing to this day.
Always is, you know, we're in such a digital world, but like, you know, here we're at South by and there's just so many people within a mile away, you know, that could have, you know, some great ideas to take, you know, things to the next level.
It's that lasting impression you make on a person that's like, I want to listen to their music. So.
You know, when you have those sort of conversations with folks that might be in like a business or professional sense, like, what's your approach? You know, I've talked to a lot of folks, and this has been like a recurring thing. People have multiple different thoughts on that.
I just try to stay true to self.
Yeah.
You know, I try to be as real and as honest as I possibly can, because that's all you really can do. You don't want to put on a facade and then 5 years down the line you make it and you're not being who you really are, and bad things happen because you're not being truthful. So I want to just remain honest and true to who I am.
It's less work, honestly, to have to create a persona if you're gonna. I want to give you the floor, of course, you know, to end things off. What do you want to let folks know about? Where can people find you?
So definitely add any of my songs to your playlist if you like R&B, if you like jazz, if you like hip hop. You can find me on Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon, Spotify. My name is Erykah Officer, ERYKAH OFFICER. I have an EP coming out May 2023, and then we'll see what comes from there, but definitely check me out.
Mark y'all's calendars for May. This is Ben from Real One signing out from CXR&B. Thank you for joining us, Erykah.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.